Hello everyone and welcome to BuffSports. I'm Alexis Semino.
And I'm Jessica Cha. Let's get this show on the road. An unfortunate ending for Colorado against Air Force. It looked like they would come back, but it was too little, too late.
Yeah, the 23-10 deficit was too much for Colorado. They eventually lost in overtime 30-23.
But one bright spot for that game was Mikhail Onu. The safety now has 5 takeaways in 3 games, including 2 against Air Force.
And Taylor Sadusky was at that game and has the story.
Well, guys, a tough loss here back at home for our Buffs against the Air Force Falcons. It seemed pretty promising after last week's win against the Nebraska Huskers, but sadly, it came to a bad ending for our Buffs. Coach Mel Tucker even mentioned in the press conference that he was going to focus more on execution, and that same statement passed on through all the players too as well. Steven Montez even went into blaming himself for the outcome of this game, even taking it down to overtime, still couldn't cap the win for our Buffs. Another sad story was that tough injury from Aaron Maddox too on the field as well.
After the game, Mel Tucker was as fired up as we've seen him, saying his team was prepared,
for us,
just didn't execute.
When we execute on offense and defense, on offense we're able to move the ball, we're able to score, finish drives. When we don't, we're behind the sticks.
Steven Montez put that loss on himself.
Not very effective. Same thing defensively. Guys do their job and play sound and solid. We're able to stop people, get off the field on third down, which we were able to do some more in the second half. And then also on special teams, it's death by inches.
And Steven Montez put that loss on himself. He was 9 for 18 in the first half with just 118 yards passing.
I just got to do a better job. Can't come out there lethargic like that, and we just got to come out faster and just better execution. We're definitely up for it. We just didn't execute. We didn't do a very good job executing the plays that were called and the assignments that we had, and then it didn't bode well for us. We put ourselves behind the sticks a lot, and that got us into trouble.
Lucky for us, our producers are here to break it all down.
Welcome, BSL fans, to this very special producer edition of Double Take. I'm Sarah Baines, and here I am with Ben Wells and Vinay Simlot, and we're talking all things CU football. So, Vinay, CU, ASU this weekend. How do you think CU's offense is going to hold up against ASU's defense?
Well, you talk about the offense. The offense has been disappointing to me in the first few games of the season. All of the first halves, the offense has looked lethargic. Against Air Force, you saw that the offense couldn't get going until the fourth quarter, and against Nebraska, they couldn't get going until the second half. It's like they can't do anything until their backs are against the wall. On the other side, ASU has only given up 3 touchdowns all season. You play to win the game, folks. Herm Edwards, you play to win. CU's got to play offense to win.
Absolutely. And Ben, so far in this season, what has CU done to disappoint you?
Well, the biggest disappointment for me has to be the defense, right? We bring in Mel Tucker, a defensive coordinator from an outstanding program in Georgia, and the defense just can't do anything. We've allowed at least 30 points in all 3 of our games so far, almost 300 rushing yards against Air Force, and over 150 yards in the air on 7 catches. It can't happen.
Ben. Everyone knew this defense would be bad. This defense isn't Mel Tucker's fault. These players aren't his. This is attrition. This is old Mike McIntyre's defense. Look, when Mel Tucker puts in his defensive system with his players, they'll be fine. There's nothing to be disappointed about. But the offense, you expected a lot more from them. Steven Montez, fifth-year senior quarterback. Laviska Shenault, come on, guys. They got to step it up.
Okay, well, let's agree to disagree on that one. But Ben, which players are you looking to stand out this weekend?
Well, it has to be your best players, right? When you're on the road against a ranked team like Arizona State, you have to lean on your best players. And for Colorado, that's Laviska Shenault.
Laviska!
He is our best player. He needs to deliver. I'm not saying that he hasn't, but I feel like maybe it's a product of his usage in the offense, but I just feel like he hasn't given us the big numbers we got used to last season. He's the guy I'm looking forward to having a big game.
And Sam Neuer will have a big game on my part. Sam Neuer, backup safety. He's going to step up this game. Guaranteed.
And that's all we have for Double Take.
Sam Neuer!
Back to you guys at the desk.
We call him Visca, but the folks over at Bleacher Report call him Julio Jones, only bigger. Yesterday, Bleacher Report released a full feature article on our very own Laviska Shenault Jr., featured prominently on the front page. We don't want to spoil the article for you, so we suggest you head over and read it for yourself. It includes amazing details about the unique relationship between Visca and his high school teammate, KD Nixon. Visca's journey from a 3-star tight end recruitment to one of the best receivers in college. And some interesting comments from Mel Tucker about ideas of how to use Visca. But great recognition for the Buffaloes. Laviska compared to one of the best.
Okay. Put away your cell phones, your computers, and your iPads, because it's time for our trivia question.
This week, we're turning to our pro buffs. We ask you, which NFL scored a touchdown this week?
We'll have the answer for you later in the show. Coming up, the soccer and volleyball teams had their first losses last week. We'll tell you how they're bouncing back.
And did you hear about...
An artist, I'm not, but I am the voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, and you're watching BuffSports Live.
They were nervous and inexperienced, as new faces looking to achieve greatness. As the years went on, they grew confident in their abilities.
Maybe. Yes, sir!
Now they look to guide others in the same pursuit.
There it is! Can you believe it?
All are welcome to be featured on the biggest stage.
Is it his time? Yes!
We invite you to discover what you're capable of at BuffSports Live.
This is Plate. Plate has a simple job: to hold food. Plate does this job well, but Plate has some issues. Plate only interacts with a few friends: fork and knife and dishwasher. Plate only knows a few people. But there is something important to know about Plate. He's an inanimate object. He can't control where he goes. Don't be like Plate.
Who is the best college mascot in history? Every CU Buffs fan will tell you that the answer is obvious: Ralphie. What's cooler than a live buffalo running across the field at full speed, led on by the screams and cheers and adrenaline of thousands of Buff fans? The answer is also obvious. Nothing could possibly be cooler. But it has come to our attention that some people would disagree. Last month, Sports Illustrated created a list of the best mascots in college football. They incorrectly placed Ralphie at number 6 all time. Who did they rank ahead of our beloved Ralphie? Well, at number 5, Stanford's mascot, which is literally a tree. I think we can all agree that a 1,200-pound buffalo is infinitely more awesome than a guy wearing a tree costume. Number 4, Bevo the Texas Longhorn. He is a live bull, but he is very poorly behaved. Remember when he attacked Uga the Bulldog? Thanks to our Ralphie runners, we are confident that this would never happen at a CU Buffs game. Ranked in 3rd, Mike the Tiger from Louisiana State. Although Tiger is pretty intimidating, Mike does not run across the field like Ralphie does every game day, so it is safe to say that Ralphie is superior.
In second place, we have Puddles the Duck from Oregon. Puddles is entertaining, but how can we compare a little duck to an actual buffalo? It is almost an unfair comparison because Ralphie would win every time. And the winner, at least according to this Sports Illustrated article, is Uga the Bulldog from Georgia. Uga is a very cute English bulldog and fans adore him. However, in the crazy world of college sports, who would you rather lead your team into battle? A living, breathing, fighting buffalo, or a cuddly bulldog who was nearly attacked by Bevo the Bull? Again, this answer is clear. Ralphie is the winner. So I think I've made it obvious who the real best mascot of all time is. Sorry, Sports Illustrated, but you got it wrong this time. Ralphie is the best mascot of all time.
What? The what? Yesterday's soccer team played Northern Colorado at Prentup. It was an easy win for the Buffaloes, 4-0. They jumped out to an early lead and never let the Bears back in the game. Like always, Taylor Kornick had a spectacular game with 2 goals and an assist in the first half. That's the third most points in half in CU history. Kornick told us about her focus during the first half. Another interesting note, Tessa Bartum scored the 3rd goal in that game, assisted by Tatum Bartum, the first time a sister has assisted on her sister's goal at CU. The Buffaloes have one more game in their non-conference schedule that's against DU tomorrow, but Coach Danny Sanchez says he's happy with their performance in a tough non-conference schedule.
I think we've taken care of business. I think we've, kind of maybe won the ones we should have, and then maybe the Florida State match was disappointing not to get a result. But we played well in stretches. So I still don't think we put 90 minutes together. You don't do that very often, but so far we've done well, and we have one more big match on Saturday.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
After losing 2 in a row to CSU last weekend, the volleyball team is looking to bounce back in the Colorado Classic, hosted here at the CU Event Center. UMBC, Campbell, and Oakland all coming to town. The Buffaloes will play their first game tonight at 7 against Oakland. Then tomorrow, they'll play 2 games against UMBC and Campbell. This is their final set of non-conference games before they begin their Pac-12 schedule on Wednesday. The Buffaloes are now 5-2. Their only losses are against CSU.
The women's golf team placed 7th at the Cougar Cup at Washington State this week. After a rough first day at the tournament, they bounced back day 2 for a great finish. Sophomore Malak Boreda had the best game of her college career, shooting 6 under 210. She finished 3rd overall at the tournament. The team as a whole recorded a 14-stroke improvement from last week. Their coach says they are growing more confident and becoming a better team every week.
We've got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll tell you about the women's basketball non-conference schedule.
Ooh, and some pro buffs doing big things. Stay with us.
Let's record and mic and cue talent in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic up on 2. All right, take 1. And fade camera 2. Take 3. Ready, red. Roll red. Take cam 1. Take red. Take it. Come on, roll red. Let's go. All right.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just calling the show.
There's no show.
We are the University of Colorado sailing team, and still the only college sailing team in Colorado. Last year, we traveled to 5 regattas and hosted our own using a fleet we bought with community support.
This year, we're raising money to purchase a safety boat that will take care of our sailors and lead effective practices to get them in tip-top shape to kick stern at regattas.
Weather changes happen quickly in Colorado, so we need to be prepared in case anyone ends up in the water. A safety boat with a proper engine will help make sure we can get people and boats to safety in the event of a capsize.
Safety is our team's top priority. and this boat will help us prepare for worst-case scenarios. This boat will put us on track for being the safest, the fastest, and the most effective team in our conference.
Donate today to help us reach our $4,000 goal and get CU Sailing motorboating. Share to everyone you know to spread the word. With your help, we will be on our way to be a safer and more successful program.
The tennis season hasn't started yet, but the Buffs are already making some noise. Sophomore Sarah Nayar and senior Monica Milanen are ranked as the 53rd doubles team in the country. And Nayar is ranked 65th nationally in singles play. The first tournament for both of them will be next week, when they head down to Houston, Texas for the Rice Invitational.
The women's basketball season is right around the corner as the Buffs take on the Regis Rangers in an exhibition game November 4th. The Buffs have 2 preseason games, one at home against Wisconsin, November 14th, and then on the road at Colorado State for the Rocky Mountain Showdown, November 22nd. The preseason wraps up in New Orleans against UAB and Tulane, respectively, December 20th and 21st before Pac-12 play begins after the Christmas break. After a 12-8 season last season, Colorado is hoping for big improvements this year. Even without their beloved seniors from last year, Kennedy Leonard and Alexis Robinson.
Forever Buffalo and CU football player Isaiah Oliver made a big impact in the Atlanta Falcons Sunday night win against the Philadelphia Eagles. Down by a score of 24-20 in the final minute of the game, the Eagles were marching down the field. On 4th down, the Eagles were inches away from getting first down to extend the drive. Oliver stuffed Eagles tight and Zach Ertz sealing the win for the Falcons.
After the break, we'll get the answer to the trivia question. We know you've all been waiting.
And Jessica, is it getting hot in here?
I hope so.
Rapid fire is next.
Diversity. Diversity is defined as being the concept of encompassing acceptance and respect. It means understanding that each individual is unique. Like a puzzle, each of us are our own piece with unique edges and curves. No piece is carved out of the same mold. With diversity, not all of us fit together perfectly. But with acceptance and effort, each individual can come together to complete a puzzle and live in harmony.
You didn't cough in your elbow? You didn't wash your hands?
It's flu season. Stay clean. You'll thank yourself for it later.
Welcome to Rapid Fire. I'm Jay Hager, and we got tons of Buffs action coming up this week. The volleyball team closes out the rest of their non-conference schedule. They'll be hosting the 2019 Colorado Classic this weekend at the CU Event Center. The Buffs are coming off back-to-back devastating losses against CSU, ending their 5-game win streak. On Saturday, the women's soccer team takes on DU at 7:30 p.m. in Denver. The Buffs lead the all-time series at 15-8-1 and have won the past 7 matchups against the Pioneers. Also this Saturday, the football team takes on Herm Edwards and 24th ranked Arizona State at 8 p.m. After an unexpected loss to Air Force, the Buffs have a chance to start conference play with a big upset. The last time Arizona State played Colorado, the Buffs won 28-21 and LaVisca Chenault scored 4 touchdowns. Hopefully he can repeat that performance. And next Wednesday at 7, the volleyball team travels to Salt Lake City to take on Utah. Like the football team, this kicks off conference play for the Buffs. Not sure what a swoop is, but hopefully the Buffs hand their swoops their 15th loss of the season. This has been Rapid Fire. I'm Jay Hager. Back to the desk.
And now it's time for the answer to that trivia question.
Remember, we asked you which former Colorado Buffalo scored a touchdown last week in the NFL.
And the answer is, drum roll please, Paul Richardson, the wide receiver for the Washington Redskins.
But sadly, the Skins lost to the Cowboys 31-21. And our tweet of the week comes from the Colorado Soccer.
In a poll, they asked fans to weigh into that age-old debate that's been dividing the nation. When they said, is a hot dog a sandwich?
The answer? Buffs fans resoundingly said no, a hot dog is not a sandwich. Alexa, what do you think about that?
A hot dog is absolutely a sandwich. It's a bun, it's bread, and there's something in the middle. It's gotta be.
I could not be more disappointed in your answer. It's absolutely not a sandwich. Everyone says so, so thank you lost this time.
All right, well, let's save this debate for off camera.
All right.
I'm Alexis Semino.
And I'm Jessica Cha. Thank you for watching Buff Sports Live this week.